I was speechless, yes, I absolutely was. I was sitting there wondering who'd won it. And next minute, I could not believe we were called, because I wasn't even expecting it, and that's the truth. And but obviously I'm delighted, for all.
It's the overall business award, which is it's the main category here.
Yeah.
But there were 14 awards handed out before that, and you also picked up one of them.
Yeah, we got the tourism award as well. But look from my point of view, it's like teams like we have some great people working for us, and we have people working with us a long time. You know them as well. I'm not going to name them, but all the people in Ferry Carriage are there for a long time.
Is that the secret, Liam, the fact that they have been there for such a long time?
It is. Some people say, in business, people staying too long means that they get stale. But our people have been fantastic over all the years. All of the people that have worked for us have been fantastic over the years. We've always had our ups and downs in business, and right now is a real tough time in business. So I hope this is a great lift to all our people. Our industry is not in good shape, and our people have gone through tough times. We've had to take wage cuts, every one of us, and that's not pleasant. And you don't want to do that as an employer. But look, we have to make sure we mind the business, and our staff have been brilliant. And I just want to pay tribute to all the people who work for us. But I would like to say that I'd like to pay tribute to all the customers who have supported us. We have tremendous support in our hotel, and in Manart as well. We've run a great local business, and I just want to thank all the people of Wexford who've been so good to us, because as I said on the stage, you're not always short, but being recognition in your own county means so much. I was with Jim Bulger at the Rehab Awards, and he came down to me and he said about winning derbies and Oaks and all that, but being honoured in his own county meant so much. And I genuinely feel that. I'm a Wexford man, I'm proud to be a Wexford man, and I just want to thank everybody. I'm humbled by it all, and I'm just so grateful.
And have you a word for the other contestants here tonight, or the other companies here tonight?
Yeah,
there was over 430 people here tonight, maybe up to 460.
Yeah.
That's an incredible turnout. In other words, it's really like saying, okay, there is a recession, but we're going to book it. And I said book, by the way.
Yeah, I know that. But I thought, I kept saying to Mark Brown and to my own sons there and to Mary, geez, I never heard of these people, Mike. They're unbelievable. I mean, all of the new companies being called out there. And it's great to see it. And the Enterprise Centre, I know I'm out there at QLab and things getting tests done, and I see all the new companies that are over the years. And it's marvellous, but the only way that we're going to get out of this recession is with enterprise. Yeah. People have got to be enterprising, and we need people who are going to generate jobs, small jobs, 5 jobs, 3 jobs, 2 jobs, 50 jobs, 100 jobs. But we need that. That's what we need, and we need the spirit of enterprise. People who run businesses are the people who are going to collect taxes for the state and try and keep the whole cycle of the economy working. So it's really important that we foster people and recognise people who do good jobs in business, because people, I've heard it said, being in businesses can be a lonely place at times. You feel alone at times, and people don't see it like that. So it's important to recognise, and I'd like to pay tribute to all the other companies here tonight. And it's to think that we got best with all that, with all those people. It's wonderful, and we're delighted. And I would like to pay tribute to my own 2 sons as well. I have 2 sons with us in the business, and they're working their backsides off, and they're doing their very best as well. So, and we're a family business for a long number of years. So look at Alan, I'm not speechless now, but it's great to do it. It really is.
You're savouring the moment now.
Yeah, I surely am. And thank you very much.
Well done, and up Wexford.
And up Wexford. Thanks very much, Alan.
I'm joined by Tom Savage, the chairman of RTA, and many other strings to his bow as well. Tom, your keynote address here was riveting, because you identified an area that perhaps people aren't thinking enough about: leadership and management. You made a contrast between the two. So what was the theme of your chat tonight?
Well, the key one was that I think people often don't make that distinction, that they just lump it all and they talk about leadership in a vague way. Whereas I think that certainly when you're slightly lower down in the organisation, management is very important, because what it does is it monitors, it analyses, it directs, it calculates and does things like that. But that particularly in small companies, in start-up enterprises, and even in bigger companies, what fundamentally attracts people, and I think more so now because of the attitude of people now compared to years ago, is that you have a leader who actually inspires you. So I was making the distinction between leadership, which actually models the behaviours that are required, inspires people, and then reinforces and recognises them, and particularly is very generous in seeing, as they say, catching people doing things that are right and confirming them in that, rather than hopping on people when they get something wrong.
What did you make of tonight's awards ceremony?
It encouraged me enormously, because people are always looking for, green shoots about that things are maybe changing for the better in the economy. When I look at the number of people who were here, the number of companies and the number of awards and the type of awards, including the fact that many of the awards were happening in the newer type of enterprises, and that they were very high caliber with leading edge things happening within the companies. I think that's very hopeful for the future.
You speak to Mark Jarrett, the operations manager of ABT Medical.
Mark, I was doing the announcements here tonight, and you were really going for 2 or 3 in a row, and you picked up 3 awards. How do you feel?
I think we're actually honoured to win 3 awards, and I think it's a real reflection on the support we have of all the people in Wexford. The Enterprise Centre and BICS in Waterford have all given us a huge amount of support, and it allowed us to win, and support us to where we've got today.
Can you give us the background to your company then? Because Liam Griffin has just said to me he was fascinated by the number of new companies that have sprung up. He himself was motivated by all these new companies.
The background of the company is basically we set up on the background of an idea from Colin Sutherland and a number of investors from the US and China, and we started manufacturing angioplasty balloons in Ireland in the Wexford Enterprise Centre.
Right.
And now we've developed into moving into Kent in our Cavan, and we employ 25 people shipping to products in China, USA and all over Europe.
So you're on the grow then, you're growing.
We are big time growing and anticipate to take on another 25 people in the next 3 years.
Paul Redmond from RDA Accountants.
Paul, you were very lucky tonight as well, and not so much lucky, but you clicked how many awards?
We won 2 awards tonight. We're astounded and fascinated by the fact that we're actually, that we achieved. There's some incredible people nominated for the awards, and even to be mentioned in the names of in the company of some of the names of the award where we're.
And what categories did you win tonight, Paul?
We won Service Provider of the Year and Employer of the Year. So Employer of the Year is just both awards have equally prominence in our business, but personally, I love the fact that we won the Employer of the Year. It's great. It's great to be recognised in the business community at the moment.
Well, almost time for us to leave here tonight, but of course the night is only beginning. It's gone very well, hasn't it?
Absolutely, Alan. There's been a great response from all the businesses here tonight, and of course we had 14 award winners, the Griffin Group winning the overall Wexford Business of the Year Award 2011, and of course they also won the Tourism Award of the Year, and well deserved. They truly are a company that are pushing ahead, not only locally, nationally, but also internationally, and they're getting recognition for that, and it's most deserved.
And for you personally, it's been a real hard slog, hasn't it, to get all this together? You've worked tirelessly on this.
Yes, I have to say that all of the team in the chamber now, we've all been working on this since last November. 2 staff which have actually since departed, but I must pay credit to Fiona Maguire and Shirley Morris, who did get the ball rolling on the awards as early as last year, and of course my current team, Sharon, Tracy and Jenny, and without Madeline's direction as well, we all would have been lost. And it's the culmination of a number of months' work and a lot of players, including Whites, yourself, Alan, Frontline Audio Visual, all the team players. This doesn't just happen down to one person. It really is a team effort, just to kind of echo what Tom Savage was saying earlier on today.
He was riveting. His keynote address was really, really positive, really good, and lots of hot tips in there.
Absolutely. I think what he said about leaders and managers is very insightful. To be a manager is one thing, monitoring and implementing, and while it's an extremely necessary and vital task in any organisation, being a leader and being somebody who can inspire people to do the very best and recruiting the very best people, that's a very important job that a leader in any business has, and I really think that Tom drove that message home in his keynote address this evening.
And Orla, we've already spoken to Liam Griffin, the overall award winner of the Griffin Group, but I want to pay a special reference to the special award that was given out here for the first time. That went down so well with the people here.
Absolutely. Innovation Wexford and the board, and not just Brendan, the CEO, they really have been at the forefront of making Wexford a place where startups can really get a good start out on the road to business and success. And as was mentioned earlier on, it has been the home of a number of very successful high potential startups, not to mention ABT Medical, which scooped a number of awards here tonight, but also Our-Works, which is another very innovative business here in Wexford, which is currently picking up customers all over the world. And they're a small team, but they're a very dynamic team, and we certainly know that we will hear great things from both Our-Works and ABT Medical in the future.
So the final message, onward and upwards?
Onwards and upwards. Wexford means business. If I could say one thing, it's to keep the confidence, keep the faith. We are actually a great little county with big aspirations.